Okay, so we had a lot of fun while we were making the movie. We have a lot of jokes that are going to be evident to everybody in the movie, and then of course there are the humorous moments that just came about not because of the script, but because of what happened when we were filming on the set with the kids. A number of humorous moments just that were impromptu during the movie. There's a great moment during the battle scene at the end of the movie where we have a very young lady named Rosie acting like a ninja. She has something like 6 or 7 soldiers from Jericho all coming at her, and she knocks them each down one by one. And at the end, this was not scripted, she just did this. She takes her little swords and she bows at the end, and it was so funny. We just had to put it in the movie, and we added a gong, and just a really a great moment that just happened in the movie. Another one of my favorite moments that happened in the movie, and oh, we are heartless. We are so heartless. We had a young man named Caleb, and he was just little. He didn't completely understand what we were doing when we were filming the nightmare sequence of the movie, when Joshua was having his nightmare that they had gone up against Jericho and things were not going well. And so we had the kids acting scared and screaming. And so we put this adorable young man on the set, and we put the camera on him, and we start rolling. And the poor little guy, he just freaked out, and he started crying. And what do? Do we go up and comfort him? No, we keep rolling the camera and say, oh, this is great, we're gonna put this in the movie. And we did eventually comfort him, but not before filming him for 1.5 minutes and letting him cry. So we're bad people. Other Easter eggs that we put in the movie deliberately that some people might chuckle at and others might not immediately understand. The first thing you notice, for example, when you meet the guard on the wall, I don't think the character even has a name, he's just the guard on the wall, is that he's carrying always with him an orange slushie. He's almost like a teddy bear, got this orange slushie under his arm. And the slushie was, for our purposes, it was just a prop. It was, I think, a cut up pool noodle jammed into the cup. But why does he have a slushie? Aside from it just being a quirky oddity in the movie, it's actually a nod to VeggieTales, who years ago did Josh and the Big Wall. And one of the things that the people of Jericho in that video from years ago did was they would dump slushies on the Israelites as they walked around the wall. So that one of the other really evident Easter eggs in the movie is we have sort of a couple of odd scenes around the river crossing where we're in the town of Adam, 20 miles north of the river crossing site. And for some reason, the kids have orange hair and green hair. And what is that all about? Well, those who are familiar with the old Disney cartoon Phineas and Ferb, that was a popular show on the Disney Channel for a while, and I enjoyed it personally. That tells you how mature I am. And so we had Phineas and Ferbus, and we had other characters from the show. We had Isabella. Hi, Phineas, what you doing? And we had Mom. Phineas, what's wrong with the river? You're so busted. I'm gonna go get Mom. And the joke on Phineas and Ferb was always that they were doing these outlandish things, and big sister Candace would go get Mom, and by the time Mom got there, everything was back to normal, and Mom thought Candace was nuts. And so we thought it would be fun up in the town of Adam to have that happening. They probably had no way of knowing up in the town of Adam, why is the river suddenly piling up in a heap outside our front door? I don't know if they knew what was happening or not. That must have been quite a thing for them up there 20 miles north of the river crossing site to see that happen. So we had some fun with that. That's a nod to Phineas and Ferb, and all the in-jokes that you find on a typical Phineas and Ferb episode. There are a number of Bible in-jokes that you might not catch the first time you watch the movie. And I hope it encourages folks to dig into their Bibles and read deeper. So one of the Bible Easter eggs that we have in the movie is there's a moment in Joshua's tent when Joshua and Caleb are explaining to the other group what's going to be happening, and Achan is upset with what he's hearing. And so he exits the tent in a huff, and he says to Joshua, The sun doesn't stand still just because you say so. And there's a moment there where Joshua sort of breaks the fourth wall, looks at you.
You're gonna get us all killed. The sun doesn't stand still just because you say so.
Well, we're actually referring to Joshua 10:13, when in the midst of a battle, Joshua asked the Lord to make the sun stand still so that they could achieve complete victory. And the Lord actually honored that request, and the sun did in fact stand still for a full day, just because Joshua asked the Lord to do that for him. So that's a little bit of an in-joke there. So I hope you'll read Joshua chapter 10 and find out what that's about. Another Easter egg in the movie is during the campfire scene when Caleb comes in and he's sort of yawning, and they've been marching for 6 days, and Caleb says, 6 days of marching, I've been working like a dog.
How's it going, Caleb?
6 days of marching. I've been working like a dog.
Really, dude?
What?
And Joshua looks at him kind of like, that was really bad. Well, the little in-joke there, and I don't know how many people will ever catch it, is that Caleb actually means dog. The name Caleb, it actually means dog. And so it was just a little in-joke for the, I don't know, maybe 3 people who will get that. But now you know. So the next time that comes up, make sure and laugh. So if you're watching carefully around Rahab's house, you'll see in the background a large building that has a sign on it. It's the only building in Jericho that has a sign on it in the model that Dennis built. And the sign says Wall Market. We just thought it would be kind of a cute little joke to have, in a city that is known for its walls, a wall market. So yes, Rahab chose to live right next to the local wall market.
There is at the very last sequence when you see the camera pulling away from Jericho, it's on fire, destroyed. You can see, if you look very, very carefully, probably about center screen underneath some palm trees, you will see a couple of what look really no more than some gray stones side by side, 2 of them, that you would never know anything about what that was, except just as a joke, because I had lots of people tease me about the fact that I'm building Jericho, so therefore my sons better watch out. So I did, as a joke, put 2 tombstones that have the names Jonathan and Benjamin on them if you zoom into the model really closely, just as a joke that I rebuilt Jericho and they are my first and last born sons.
Yes, we do have a few cameos in the movie. I'm not in the movie, but some of our other pastoral staff does make a brief appearance in the movie during the river crossing scene. It's the moment when the Israelites have sent 12 men into the riverbank to take stones on their shoulders to take to the other side of the Jordan so that Joshua can build a monument to what the Lord had done. And some of those people who are carrying the stones are, of course, the pastors of our church, Life Fellowship. You can see Pastor Dan. His face is visible. He looks like he's really tired. And you can see Pastor Mark. He appears to be listening to his rock like it's a boombox. I don't know how he was doing that, but you also then see Pastor Ed is actually in the movie, but you don't see his face. He is carrying the rock like it's very heavy, and if you look very closely, you can see the famous hair poking out from behind the rock. But that's actually Pastor Ed, and I think it's a dark green robe, and carrying that rock, and just a cute little cameo there.